If you've been struggling with an injury for over 6 months and all you've tried is resting it, getting some dry needling, getting a massage, or getting the area taped up, I hate to break it to you, but your physio or coach is probably full of shit. And in this video, I'm going to explain why that's the case and what you can do instead to actually start making those steps towards becoming pain-free and getting back to that sport or activity that you love doing. So, why are none of these things working? Well, they're not actually improving the things that matter when it comes to rehab. See, a lot of people tend to think that rehab and training are two different things, but really they're focusing on the same qualities, just to a different level. In the gym, when you're training, you're trying to get more mobile, you're trying to get stronger, you're trying to get faster, you're trying to get better conditioning if you're involved in any sort of athletic endeavor, jiu-jitsu, CrossFit, weightlifting, whatever the sport is. And you're trying to improve these qualities in rehab as well. We want to get you more mobile, we want to get you stronger, we want to get you faster, we want to improve your conditioning, but just to a different level with slightly different goals. So actually, rehab is training and it's not a separate thing. Take Lucas, for example. He came to me about a year ago with chronic hip and knee pain. Now, Lucas is a weightlifter at a very high level, and he's currently trying to qualify for the Commonwealth Games. Lucas's issue when he'd seen previous physios is they'd just given him a massage or they told him to rest. And this just didn't fit into what he wanted to get back to. While he was resting and getting massages, he was actually losing the qualities that we needed to improve when he came to see me. He was losing mobility, he was losing strength, he was losing confidence, and he was increasingly getting more pain. So what did we do differently and what can you take away from this? Well, the first thing you need to do is assess what the issue is. Now, this sounds more complex than it is, but really, with Lucas, I assessed his mobility and his strength very simply. From there, we actually had some data and some numbers to go off. If you haven't got anything to go off and you're not testing, then you're just guessing. Without testing, you're guessing. And once we had that, then we could put a program in place that was integrated into his normal training schedule, which was 4 to 5 days a week, depending on the cycle. And the rehab was integrated into those sessions. So for example, if he had a lower body strength day, he would do movements, he would do weightlifting movements that he could still do pain-free, or variations of the snatch or clean jerk or squat. And then we had particular things in the mobility bit of the day, so at the start of the routine, and then accessories as well to work on weaknesses and improve his movement quality. As rehab progressed, this got more and more specific to weightlifting. So he started very, very general, focusing on improving general physical qualities and a much more kind of bodybuilding, if you like, approach. We're trying to improve his muscle mass, his speed, his confidence, his power, very general qualities. And then as we went through rehab, we made this more and more specific to weightlifting by just altering the barbell movements. So initially we might have started with none, and then we went to a back squat, and then all the way back up to doing snatches and clean and jerks with minimal to no pain. The takeaway here again is this idea that rehab is integrated with training and it's a continuous flowing process. It's not a case that you just pick 3 random rehab exercises that you've seen on YouTube and you plug them into your normal training schedule. The way I program for Lucas and the way I program for all of my clients is that everything is integrated, and ultimately we're just looking to improve the same things that you would be doing in training. So you come out the back of rehab actually stronger and more confident in other areas as well, where you previously might have been very, very weak. And this allows you to hit the ground running when you return to that sport, because you're actually capable of handling the loads that you need to in terms of volume, intensity, and just the mental aspect of competing at a sport at any level, amateur, semi-professional, or professional. So now, for example, with Lucas, we're just working towards improving all those qualities I talked about with his weightlifting. His knee pain is now completely gone. That's fixed. We're still working a little bit on his hip, but that's probably about 80 to 85% of what we need to get it to be completely pain-free. But now we can work on other things, and I've more become like his PT as opposed to a physio, which is what the progression should look like if you have a good physio or a coach. They should understand how to program for rehab and then how to seamlessly integrate that into normal training when you're pain free, and then working on improving performance markers that will then get you better at your sport. By the way, if you're interested in working with me one-to-one to help fix your injury, pain, or just get better at your sport performance-wise, just check out the top link in the description.